right, hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, salutations, all right, to the elect members, God in 44,000, the multitude that scattered abroad, all right. So this lesson, all right, uh, is basically dealing with the Lord, starting to turn the wheels on the war front. All right, he's getting the wheels to turn on the war front, so to speak. Okay, this, some people call it a red flag. It seems pretty real to me. All right, but this is the provocation that the state of Israel needed. All right, for war. And let me tell you, Benjamin Netanyahu has always been trigger happy. Okay. Um, some say that the Iranians are helping Hamas out. Some say that the weapons came from the Ukraine, and so on and so forth. It's a surprise attack, which is, to us, it shouldn't be a surprise. You know, this is going to spawn other events. All right, and it's going to draw us closer to World War III. All right, and that's closer to the Lord. Pretty much settling that controversy, the controversy of Zion. All right, by bringing these nations in to war against each other. Now, we read the headlines. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared Israel at war after Gaza Strip militants. After Gaza Strip militants, Slovakia, Strip militants fired over 2,000 missiles and infiltrated southern parts of the country in a surprise attack on Saturday. All right. Now, why would they do that unless they had, some backing as far as Hamas? I ain't really gonna go into the details. You do, you do diligence and go into that. But we know we need these individuals, the state of Israel, to be roused up. All right, because the prophecy says what? Jeremiah 49:20, it says, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he hath taken against Edom and purposed. All right, so this is purposed. All right. And the Lord is about to settle something. Okay, it says that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. All right, Teman is the smart ones of Esau. All right, and we would know them as the Germans. All right, and when you go into the history of the state of Israel, a lot of these individuals come from the ones that occupy. They're how can I say? Their foreparents going back, 100 years, early 1900s. I know you had the Aliyahs, you had, later on the British Mandate. You had the Rothschilds who funded, um, you know, pretty much the Zionist movement, I guess you could say, for lack of better words, and brought those individuals in from Europe and parts of Russia as well. All right, and declared it, their home state. But now, speaking on basically Benjamin Netanyahu, the trigger happy Benjamin Netanyahu, this is the provocation that they need. Okay, so it says, surely, well, Teman is dealing with the smart ones that Esau, the Germans, all right? In Salakia, it says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Okay? And so the least of the flock is Amalek. All right? But they're the wisest, they're the chief tribe of Esau, because Esau got tribes too, believe it or not, all right, they got tribes. Okay, Esau had numerous of sons. He had quite a few sons. All right, But Teman, or the least of the flock, is Amalek. All right, because they're on top. All right, and it says shall draw them out. Who? All right, they're gonna draw out the nations. Okay, and basically, verse 20 to 22 is going into uh, World War III. Okay, surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. All right, so the Lord is going to settle that controversy, and he's going to use Esau, the least of the flock, to draw all the weapon. I mean, all the armies out, or the world's armies out. Okay, because this might be a preemptive strike. You know, this strike, or this surprise attack from Hamas might lead into. I'm gonna turn this down. I can play this real quick. This might lead into a war against Iran. All right, and then Iran. You look at Iran; they're being backed by Russia. Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Iran-Russian relations is well known. Okay, that might bring Russia into the spectrum. Okay, and so this goes exactly what would the scriptures say. Okay, this is Isaiah 13, and it says, I'll get to the point. 4, it says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. All right, and the least of them gonna draw these nations out. Okay, which is trigger happy Netanyahu. They needed a provocation, and this is it. Okay, which means this we're closer. All right, we're closer. The wheels are turning on the war front. Okay, so it says the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord Yahweh of hosts mustereth the host of battle. See, this overall, this is what's happening. Because you can call it fake or red flag, because you seeing all of that. It looks very real to me. All right, whether or not it's a covert operation, they uh, third party, if the American military industrial complex, if they third party the attack, or because that's how they do it, you know, it's still the provocation that they need. They need it. Look at them. They've been waiting on this, man. All right, they've been waiting on this. Israel in a state of war with Hamas after Palestinian militants. The next thing you're gonna hear is that Iran has something to do with it, because they're gonna start pointing fingers, and they're gonna fund that. They're gonna get the war that they're looking for. Believe me, because they still got resistors of their new world order who they got to take out. So it's just a matter of time, And like I said, only had a few precepts, because the Lord is the one that's putting this thing together. Why? For the controversy, because it goes back to the controversy of Zion. All right. It says, the terrible visitation, Joel 2:1, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand, the day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds. I wanted Joel 3, and of thick darkness, and the morning spread upon the mountains a great people and a strong. There had not been ever like the like, neither shall be any more after it. Even to the years of many generations, a fire devoureth before them and behind them. This is World War III, all right? Them a flame burning. The land is as the Garden of Eden, all right? More so, this is dealing with the thermonuclear missiles, all right? Because of verse 2, okay? In the day of the Lord, all right? The thermonuclear destruction is part of the day of the Lord, all right? It says the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as a horseman, so shall they run. All right, and that's dealing with the thermonuclear destruction. But I wanted to get Joel 3:1. It says, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. So the Lord is bringing, rebuilding um, the nation of Israel, okay? Because basically what it means by bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem is that we're going to serve the Lord, all right? So the Lord is bringing his people together, okay? And upon him bringing the people together, this is what's happening also. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land, right? So it said the Lord's gonna gather them together, all right, and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat is going into the Hebrew word Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment. Okay, Yahweh has judged. So the Lord has judged the nations and determined that they're going to fight. All right, they're going to fight each other for the controversy that is done to Israel. All right. So it says here, it's a symbolic name of a valley near Jerusalem, which is the place of ultimate judgment. All right. And the chief house of Esau is going to bring them out. The least of the flock is going to draw them out. Okay. So Salakia, let me go back. Right. It says, maybe the deep ravine which separates Jerusalem from the Mount of Olives, through which the kindred flow. Well, the setting is going to be the Middle East. I mean, not the Middle East, Salakia, because that's pretty much a made up term. All right. The setting is going to be here. I think I looked up a map earlier. Let me see something. Man, I could have sworn I looked up a map. But anyway. All right. I looked up Chaldea earlier. That's what it was. But this, I'm going to just show a map. I mean, this is ancient Chaldea. This is the ancient map. But when you go into it, let's see if we can just get a record. Okay, because the Lord is pretty much going to bring this. This is ancient, but the Lord is going to bring. This is modern day Saudi Arabia. You got Iraq, you got Syria, you got Israel. This is where the war is going to take place. Okay, and also southern parts of Arabia as well. Okay, they're going to be fighting in these seas, the Mediterranean. All right, the Persian Gulf. Okay. And it's gonna get wild. All right, it's gonna get wild. All right. Okay. So let's see. So, for instance, modern day Iraq, Saudi Arabia, of course, Israel, Syria. These are going to be the places that's involved. Okay. And for some odd reason, you're going to hear about Iran in the news very soon, too. All right. Because they need the provocation, and they got it. They got the provocation. They got what they wanted. All right. And we know Esau is about, he's about propaganda and pushing narratives. Okay. Like I said, we don't know detail upon detail, but we do know, as far as the relationships go, which we should know, which I know the basic understanding of who's dealing with who's against who, because you got Israel who's against Iran, Israel is against pretty much everybody around. Israel is against almost, in fact, they're hostile towards all these different nations around them. All right, whether it be Syria, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Yemen. All right, yeah, they're hostile to all those nations, and they got to be the ones that that pretty much what's the saying? They're going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back when it comes to this World War III. Okay, but I know we talking World War III, but before then, I know the apostle mentioned in his video that before World War III can happen, the RFID chip has to be implemented and it has to be mandatory. Which again, this right here, what's going on right now, is going to be a pretense for them hastening or uh, rushing that the RFID, which is the MOTB. All right. So they're going to be scrambling, man. All right. I can see that they're going to be scrambling to get this thing out. We're going to see more turmoil in the earth, in the world. You know, right now, you know, brothers is being tested on the whole, another level, especially the younger Akim, you know. And the Lord is trying, Jake, you know, as all this is going down, the Lord is building this house, you know, and those that don't belong, the Lord is going to get them out of there, you know, because this house is going to be well furnished, okay? Um, it's time, man. It's time. It's the time for playing and shit is over with, you know. That's pretty much what I'm getting from this. You know, the Lord's house is being raised up. Ultimately, at the same time where, you know, these Amalekites, the least among them, shall draw out these other nations to come to war, you know, because they needed the provocation and they got it. They got it. And this dude's a warmonger. These are straight Edomites, man. He a straight Amalekite with that nose and ears, you know. They've been waiting on this. And they might blame Iran. They might blame whoever. But it's just a pretense. They're gonna be bloodthirsty after this. They're gonna need the excuse to go and bomb somebody. And then in turn it's just gonna be a domino effect. That's what I believe. That's just my humble opinion. And maybe I'm wrong. You know, Lord willing, you know, this was edifying and hopefully I you know, hit the points that I needed. All right. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. You know, the Lord is raising up his house. Let me see. All in the midst of this, you know, all in the midst of this, the Lord is raising up his elect. Okay. All right. Amos 9 and 8, behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom and will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving up that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh. Yep. So the Lord is about to bring destruction to America, all right, the state of Israel, all right, and other places that need to be purged. For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations. Like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All right. So there's a sifting. Okay. The Lord is choosing out and essentially like a filter. He's filtering out his chosen, his elect. Okay. All right. Because he's not going to destroy the remnant. He's going to save the remnant. It says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Okay. So this 2/3 right here is going to perish. All right. The restoration of Israel. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen and close up the breaches thereof. All right. And upon him closing up the breaches, when he closes up the breaches, all right, that's going to be it. The doors of mercy are going to be shut. All right. And I will raise up his ruins and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name. So don't get it twisted. Yeah, these people going to war, but ultimately it's to set up the Lord's to get rid of the ones that need to be the ones that's condemned. I'll say it like that, and to save those who are as the mark of exemption, which are called by my name, and saith the Lord that doeth this. The days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and tread of grapes, him that soweth seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities, and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens, and eat the fruit of them, and I will plant them upon their land. And this is ultimate. This is all post World War III and the return of the Lord, the day of the Lord. All right. So let me see something really quick. Oh, here we go. This is Obadiah 1:1, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh. An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. All right. So that's what's transpiring. The Lord is turning the wheels on the war front. All right. It says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. And that's dealing with Esau. Okay. Now let's look up this word small. Let's see if we can get the Hebrew word. It's quatan. Quatan. All right. It says insignificant, unimportant. Young, small, insignificant, unimportant. Yeah, and then that kind of makes sense because I'm thinking about Isaiah 47 chapter, where it says, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, basically sit in confusion. There's no throne, right? It says little, smallness. And then you think about the Isaiah 14, where it says the kings of the earth, um, basically the kings, the dead, that have risen up the dead for thee. All right. Um, yeah, Isaiah 14:9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. All right, and stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. That's right. And the dead, it stirs up the dead of the heathen nations. Okay, and then they're dead spiritually because they don't have the word of life. Okay, it's easy. Even all the chief ones of the earth, it had to raise up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All right, and the smallest we know, the least among these shall draw thee out, and that's these Amalekites. All right, who are the smallest among the nations, but they're the wealthiest, they're the richest, and they're the chief tribe of Esau, somewhat, so to speak. Okay, and this is what we need. This is what we need for them to start, you know, fighting everybody around them, which they've been doing that. They ain't changed. They've been fighting everybody around them, and they couldn't wait for the right provocation or the right um, false flag, so they can justify the means of going to war full fledged. You know, and that's just my take. Lord willing, this is edifying. Lord willing, is on point. If it's not, correct me. Until next time, I'm gonna say shalom.